guess, or something.
No, I'd turn on my echo, not yours.
Oh.
Because I appreciate having fun with that.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Gonzalez and Galyean, week 8.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm eventually going to just lose track, and it's going to really get really bad when I'm trying to save things.
I know. But I know because I posted the one today that it's week 7.
Yeah, I tried to listen to it, but I was at work.
So this is, I don't know if it's officially this, but we're talking about, it's probably going to be more of like a youth camp recap special.
Yeah, so
we were at youth camp all week, so we don't really have work stories.
No, other than Monday. I guess you had Saturday as well.
Yeah, I had Saturday. But
I'm going to figure out this cord issue one of these days. Yeah, so we had youth camp.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun.
It was intense.
Go ahead.
That's what it was.
That. It was intense.
Yeah. I don't really even know where to start.
Where to start? I guess with the bus ride. My gosh.
Let me put you on this ride, bro.
Set the scene.
We had 2 charter buses, right?
Right.
There you go. And so one was the high school kids, and then a few workers. We were like 2. And then we had the second bus, which was the junior high kids and other workers, which we were included in the junior high bus. We were expecting it to be the bus to be very loud and rowdy because it was junior high boys and gals. They were really quiet.
Praise God.
It was one of the counselors that we had to worry about.
Yeah.
She kind of talked the whole time, actually.
The whole time.
Not going to mention any names, but you know who you are. and you're probably not listening to this, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and did you already say it was 6 hours?
It was a 6-hour bus ride.
It was a 6-hour bus ride.
Yeah, I think it was like 5 hours and 30 minutes or something, but we stopped.
You can just round it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stopped for lunch.
Well, honestly, we were going like 50 miles per hour, so.
See, I didn't even know that until.
Yeah, we were going pretty slow.
Yeah, I was like, are you kidding me?
There's a few times I felt like he was going a little fast, but most of the time he was going pretty slow.
Yeah, it was just a long, cold ride. They kept it very cold in the bus as well, and I don't really get the thought process behind that. If everyone's complaining about being cold, it's like, turn it down, man.
Well, because what if everybody's cold, but then like a few people are hot, and you can't really make that. If it's cold, everybody has their own vent, like you do in an airplane, so you can turn it off. Which that's what we did. It was still cold.
It was still cold.
On the way home, I couldn't get it cold enough.
Because I was cold.
We'll tell you about the week of camp, but I'm going to go ahead and say after camp we had to take that bus ride back, and the last 30 minutes of the bus ride up there was mountains. So the first 30 minutes heading back was also mountains. They were going downhill. It's air brakes. The guy was just
yeah.
And
it's one of those things. It's probably not necessarily his fault either. It's just the way that bus has to do it, I guess.
Yeah. So, Mr. Sir, if you're listening to this one day, we don't blame you, but
Mr. Sir.
I almost threw up. A lot of us almost threw up, and we did have one kid throw up. So,
yeah, nasty.
Yeah.
What did you do for 6 hours? You might ask.
Well, I took a Benadryl on the way home, so I tried to sleep.
Yeah, I didn't do much. I feel like I tried to listen to some podcasts, but the service was spotty. I tried to watch some Disney Plus, but the service was spotty.
The thing is, you would have great service for like 10 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes. And then, then it's like kind of good, kind of bad, and nothing. And then spotty again.
Yeah, so the majority of the time I was just wishing I was already there.
Yeah. I didn't really want to listen to just music either.
Yeah.
Kind of did the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know. It's just kind of like, what are you doing in this situation?
Yeah.
But once we got there, it was a whole new camp for everybody.
Yeah.
No one had been there yet, other than a few people went up there like a month ago to check it out. A few months
prior.
Yeah, but so it was a whole lot of learning for everybody. And our cabin situation. I don't know if we have to talk about that right now. Oh my gosh.
Let's just say we got a lot of exercise, walking like a mile every time we want to go to our cabin or back. It wasn't a mile, but it was a good quarter mile, no doubt. At least from the tabernacle.
At least the tabernacle.
Yeah.
But yeah, to to the closest restroom just to take a shower or use the restroom. You had to walk all the way up this hill, not a steep hill, but still.
Those bars, bro. So we had to walk up this hill, but still. Oh.
Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game, bro.
No, I hated the player who made that happen. Actually.
Oh, that happened. Yeah, because it turns out we were supposed to be in a
much closer, much cozier, better cabin.
Yeah, it's had like built-in bathrooms, built-in showers.
Right by the chow hall.
Right by the food.
I mean, it was right smack dab middle of the camp. It was the perfect place to be, actually.
Oh, sorry,
bro.
Didn't mean to hit you.
Whoa.
There was just a misunderstanding, and it was misunderstood the whole week until like the last night. So we didn't really have time to fix it.
So we never really, we never even got to see what our cabin really looked like, the inside.
Yeah. So, youth camp, I don't really know what to say other than it's full of all tons of games and activities.
And emotions.
And emotions, that's for sure.
We're talking sad, happy, on a spiritual high. I'm in love with this dude. I'm in love with this girl. It's just wild.
I'm in love with Jesus.
And I'm in love with Jesus. No, it really was just full of a lot of emotions. It was great. It was fun.
Just to talk about the stuff that we got to help out with. The first day, we were just helping with like team bonding, really. That's what the first day mainly
like everybody, I guess, really was.
Yeah. And that was fun, I guess. I just had that one group, and they were struggling, but...
They all do. They all
we got it all figured out. Well, I mean, like, with all those games, there was, like... I could see everyone else's team, like, already standing up. And I was like, come on, guys.
Dude, that's how I felt on mine.
I'm like, guys, come on now. These other teams are way faster than y'all.
Yeah.
But other than, like, it's like, I'm not their leader, though. You have to, like, step back. So I'm not their leader. I don't take charge. I'm just here to watch.
It's weird being the helper and not the leader.
Yeah, the helper, not the leader.
Yeah. Because I want to, like, make jokes and talk, but I'm like, nah, they gotta figure this out, strategize.
Yeah. And then the second day was the rainy day. It
rained all day.
And it was, like, in the 60s. So it was actually kind of chilly, I thought.
Yeah, especially after getting rained on, and then if you're like sitting in the tabernacle or something, it was quite brisk.
Yeah. And then
and what do we do?
That afternoon.
That morning. What do we do that morning?
Oh, that morning, we did some. What were they calling it? Team strategy.
Yeah.
Team strategy.
We helped a little. We told them what not to do, even though most of them did what we told them not to do.
Yep. And then some of them did not do what we told them to do.
But what you gonna do?
But what you gonna do?
You know,
boys will be boys, not leaders.
Yeah. Don't fire us. So yeah, then to Wednesday afternoon, June 8th. We so they had what'd you call obstacles. So it's different events you can do. You had like a 10-foot wall that you had to climb up and get all your team up, which ended up being a very intense obstacle for a lot of the teams.
Because it was wet and muddy.
Yeah, we did not run that because we're weak. And you're not just a helper. You're like a leader helper on that.
Yeah, you have to.
So they got like, Jay Lyles, Caitlin Lyles, and Nick Gonzalez. So, and then they had so this was all the way over here, and that's one area, and then we had this certain area where we had like 4 different events, right? So we had archery, and then slingshot moving to the left, and then one more to the left was the hatchet throwing. That was our event. Yeah. And then one more over to the left was some type of balancing beam. Yeah. So yeah, we threw hatchets. Because they asked if we want to do arrows, and I said I can't do that. I'm not good at that.
No, that would.
And I knew that I liked throwing hatchets, and I was fairly good at it. So that's what we did. And
we got really good at explaining the rules because we did it like 4 times. It was like, it became a routine. It was like, all right, step right on up, and this is how it happened every time. They got there,
And they're like, she was like, all right, I'm going to explain the rules. First off, step back.
Yeah, every time. All right, first time we're gonna step back.
There was one team, the very last team, I think they were already in the right place.
Yeah.
I think you felt a little weird because you couldn't say it.
He was like, all right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna step back. All right, I'm gonna hand you a hatchet. You're gonna throw it, and it was like, none of this arms all around nonsense. Just straight from the.
I would always make a comment like when I cut down a tree or something stupid, you know.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna throw it. Ryan's gonna retrieve it, and we're not gonna throw anything else
Like a dog
until Ryan comes back because this is hatchet throwing. This is serious.
Bro, sometimes you gave him that hatchet too soon.
Sometimes I did. Sometimes you's taking too long, bro.
Bro, they be throwing it a mile away.
We almost lost a hatchet. But
we did, and then we found it.
Yeah.
Like towards the end. Yeah, and then you'd be like, all right, Ryan's gonna demonstrate. So I demonstrated, and I hit it every time but once. That once was pretty embarrassing. The one time I threw it and it broke the wood, that was epic.
Yeah, because that was pretty good.
And everyone's like, wow. It was really old wood, but.
And then after like the teams had like done their whole rotation like a couple times, then we'd let them throw all three, and I would always be, all right, guys, y'all leveled up.
All three separately though.
Yeah, all three separately, that's for sure. But it's like, all right, guys, y'all have leveled up, and when they hear the words level up, they're like, oh, I just think they've done something. But it's more like we still have more time, so we're just gonna let you throw more.
Yeah,
but it's also. It's like you've completed your training, and now you can throw more than one.
Yeah, if we had more area of space, because we were really, really close to the other team, so we had to be really careful. And some kids were throwing it so sideways, and they do it, which is such a... When they do it, I want to yell at them.
Yeah,
but you
don't want to yell.
But I don't want to yell at them. You know, like I want to get onto them because it's a very dangerous thing if they mess up. Because I mean, they could hit somebody and really injure them or whatever. So I'd be... I wasn't really starting with them actually at all, but I had to get on to them and try to be in a nice way because I don't want anybody getting their feelings hurt. And sometimes you just throw it by accident wrong, or you just did and you didn't realize you thought your form was right, but it's not. So you had to correct them, and I did a few times, and I don't think anybody really got hurt about it.
No,
I was doing that out of love.
Yeah, out
of that church camp love.
Look, getting onto you hurts me right now more than it hurts you.
This hurts me more than it hurts you. Okay. What hurt me was when I was asking Brandon for a brownie and he walked away. I never got a brownie, bro.
Brandon, the specific Brandon he's talking about is our pastor too.
Yeah.
The
other Brandon was the one that preached.
Yeah.
Bohan, and shout out to him. And
yeah.
Amen.
And he brought a lot of amens.
Amen.
And he was a man.
Amen.
Who bunked in the same room as our cat Ben.
Shuck it around, Brandon, if he's listening to it.
Yeah. So that was fun, and then now we can move on to Thursday.
Oh yeah, Thursday. Now this is what really went down right here.
You gotta throw some backstory about everything too.
Yeah. I mean, if you listen to last week's podcast, we mentioned that we had to write the camp chant, and we had wrote it within like 2 hours or so.
Probably.
And we wrote it. We parodied an AJR song, Bang, but we called ours Faith. Ooh, get 'em. It was like, so, I mean, they just, I don't know what to say. Like, we usually do it every day at camp, but it was so.
And definitely start the first day, like the first night we get there.
Yeah, and like this year, everything was so, what's the word?
Off course because the rain. The trip was a little longer than intended. We got there later, so we definitely couldn't do it Tuesday. And then Wednesdays when it rained all day.
Yeah, everything was new, like we were saying. It's a whole new campground that we're used to.
Yeah.
So they kept getting put on the back burner. So Tuesday night we didn't do it. Wednesday we didn't do it. Wednesday night we didn't
started
do
getting
it.
Discouraged at this point.
Yeah, we're all like, man, we wrote this thing. We're not even going to get to
and it was fire.
Man, we wrote it. We really liked it. We're not even going to get to like show it to the kids. But lo and behold, Thursday morning after breakfast, we got our own station, is what we were calling them. When you go to do different things.
Some bars.
So I don't really know how it landed in my hands. The microphone started off in your hands because you were talking about American Idol.
Yeah, I started off. I said, "Yeah, a little backstory. I went to American Idol a few years ago and I won it. It's pretty intense, so be expecting greatness from me. And then Steven had a backstory to that backstory.
Yeah, he was like, and Steven, what about you? And I was like, yeah, I was just the guy who wrote his sob story, and that's how we won American Idol.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you gotta have one.
Yeah, like all those reality shows, they have like these sob stories, and I don't even believe half of them.
Bro, what if I went up there and I
Yeah.
started talking about having cancer, bro?
Yeah, but
You'd be like, that's a lie? That'd be kind of terrible. Yeah. Well, I had the microphone, and there's 2 microphones, so I started using the other one. And it was just like super quiet. It was like, hey guys, my name's Ryan. I don't know. You know, and it was terrible. So, sorry. I just kind of give it to you, and then you just kind of talk.
yeah, but yeah, I ended up like I don't know, being the one with the main microphone, I guess. But we got this thing taught. We would teach the lyrics. We'd run through it a couple times. They were always ready the first time to go through it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we'd be like, all right, this team do it, because we had 2 teams at one time. See who did it louder, and then we'd add hand motions to it. And we're in the tabernacle, and there was a lot of workers, so like some of the workers would sit in there through stations.
Kind of made me nervous.
Kind of made me nervous too, but it's like, I don't know. Once you're like up there, and like when you're at camp, kids will do anything. That's why I keep saying, it's like they'll do anything. So it's like I'm not really sweating it. But I just don't want these adults back here judging. And they really didn't, other than the fact that we were drinking Red Bull. They jumped on us a little bit for drinking Red Bull. But we had already gone through Kevin. He said there was nothing wrong with that.
There's not. I mean, Red Bull's not like the most healthiest thing to drink. I think even Red Bull would admit that. But, that's our own choice.
Yeah, it's our own choice. It's our body, our choice.
Yeah. That's what we learned at camp.
Yeah, for real. No. But all the kids really liked it. And then Thursday night, which was the last night, we had to perform it for everybody. I was super nervous about that. But
I didn't get nervous until about like right when we got on stage. I got like nervous and cold, and my nipples got hard. It was weird. So I was like moving my shirt, trying to like fix it, because that's embarrassing. I'm telling it to the world now, but
yeah.
So I tried to fix that real fast. I think it worked. I don't think you could tell in the video. But everybody was super hype. It was super loud.
Super hype.
Unlike Sunday night, when they were so quiet.
Yeah, we did it, and we're like, oh, well, we did it. We did it the one time. Right, man, we kind of wish we could do it some more. And then everyone was like, oh, y'all should do it at church Sunday night. And we're just like, no, this little old Baptist church ain't going to let us, like,
it's going to be approved.
Yeah, ain't going to crank this AJR up. But it did, and we did it last night, and they were not feeling it, I guess. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I was like, man, whatever, though.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was a neat experience to be able to do it. Probably be asked to do it again, I bet. I don't know.
So. Kevin actually came up to me last night and told me, he's like, that's why I quit doing the camp chant on Sunday nights. It's because they always act like they're going to be all hype throughout the week.
Yeah.
And then once you get to church, they just...
Yeah, because it's a really goofy thing we do.
Yeah.
So then you get church and your parents are there. It's a little bit more embarrassing, I guess.
Well, I mean, my mom was there at camp watching me do it, so the parent thing wasn't really...
Yeah, but like that's different because you're at camp, so you're already loose.
Yeah.
And your mom's there, and I mean, it depends on your parents, how your parents are. So
I guess
your mom's pretty cool. Yeah, I would say the next thing I was going to talk about in the camp was the lessons.
Yeah, dude.
And lessons and devotions. I thought they're really good. So the way we do camp is we have we eat breakfast like at 8. We have a little bit of time off until 9 o'clock. Somebody will teach a lesson. Then we do some events. We have lunch, a little bit of time off, and then like at 1 we'll do another lesson. And then so we did that Wednesday. So 2 lessons Wednesday and 2 lessons on Thursday, right? Did we do the 2 lessons Thursday? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So this year, there's a lot of younger people to teach, and also when we do the lessons, they separate the guys and the girls, voice crack, in that section. So we had some younger men. We had Cameron Hayes. He did a lesson, and Creighton Lee That is one of our friends' husband, now our other friend.
Oh,
Respect.
so
And then Brother Kevin and his brother Greg also did a lesson. They're on the younger side.
the older younger side. There you go, middle age.
Yeah. And then Nick also did a lesson, but it was more like
It was
almost
more
like a devotion. He did it as he did a hike to
as
the
a
waterfall.
station, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I didn't really get to experience it because we were doing the chants. But then on the girls' side, we had Emma Lee, which was,
Mhm.
like I said, Creighton's wife.
There we go.
And then Savannah Edwards.
I'm joking.
And then Miss
I'm
Callie,
joking.
and of course my wife. She brought some heat.
Amen.
We weren't actually there for any of the girls' lessons though.
Yeah, but
So, we're just
Jesse
going-
kind of shared what she talked about, and I think some of the girls as well.
So did Savannah. Were you not on the bus ride?
Oh yeah, that's
Yes.
what we were talking about. She was talking the whole time about a
Yes,
lesson.
Savannah was someone with the lesson.
It was a
on that.
6-hour lesson. I don't know how the girls survived that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they just missed out all day.
Just teaching
Just
all day
teaching
while
all
we're doing
day.
events.
I'm
Yeah.
joking.
No, so I think it all went well, especially on the girls' side. The girls don't really do devotions at night anymore. I think they used to a long time ago.
No, they have coffee bars
They have coffee bars instead
and
of
braid
devotions.
each other's hair
Yeah, but
while we're getting closer.
girls,
to
I feel like, do have life talks a little bit more than guys would. The guys really weren't supposed to have devotions because they're all in different cabins, but Nick and Cameron Hayes took the initiative to have devotions in their cabin, which is the high school boys. We were able to,
Daniel did one.
and
Kinda.
Daniel D. Davis.
It's mainly a testimony, but it was like kind of a devotion.
I would say it was a
had a
devotion.
good meaning to it.
Yeah, well, it's a testimony and adding stuff to it in scripture. It was a good devotion.
Yeah.
Shout out to Daniel Davis, our number one fan right
Yeah,
now.
we gotta shout out Daniel Davis, number one fan of the podcast. Also, he hurt himself at the camp.
Dude, brutal.
Yeah, playing basketball.
Yeah.
Oof.
But I was going to say that on the devotions, I'm not going to say what all was said in them, but they were pretty deep devotions that I feel like for the high school boys, it was something good for them to hear, as well as with me.
Yeah.
So it took a lot of heart for both of them to have those devotions out.
Yeah, and it's just something I feel like it's not talked about. Like,
Yeah.
with the youth, like on a Sunday morning, like a pastor will like briefly mention it, but not want to get like too far down the rabbit hole on it.
Yeah.
And it's something I think that needs to be tackled like around junior high.
I
because,
feel like if it was mentioned more, we would have less of a problem with it
yeah,
in the world. So
but it's there's some.
if you don't know what we're talking about, you can probably figure it out on it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
But there's some hardcore stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, so the lessons and everything were pretty good. And then, yeah, like I said, at night we had the actual sermon, which was presented by Brandon Bohannon.
Yes, sir. We need an applause. We really need applause.
Dude, that's what I meant to put on there. I'll get it. I'll figure it out one of these days. Yeah. But yeah, it was great. He did great. I feel like we only had, I think, one soul that was actually really saved. The others, well, I guess the others, we had a lot that recommitted his life, a lot that thought they were saved when they were younger, and just wanted to make sure on it now.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it just depends on how you look at it. But other than that, I think there was a lot that had a lot of business to handle on the altar and lay their burdens down, like in the song.
Like in the song.
And they did.
Yeah.
So
It was.
I wonder if we should play our song.
Well, I thought we were gonna say that for our music, our music section. Towards the end.
Then we had Camp Chants
Oh
at
my
the end of
gosh.
the night.
So to explain what a camp chant is, it's like the team.
Honestly, we're just gonna leave this section blank, and we're just gonna go to the next section.
The teams, they, like I said, we were talking about team strategy. They have to come up with a skit to present the last night, and these teams have wacky names. So you're having to build a skit around the name of the team, and also try and include everybody on the team in the skit, and make it as funny and creative and different as possible.
Yeah, and
'cause
just
there's judges.
get everybody involved.
Mm-hmm. But I think they were kind of planning some stuff behind the leaders' backs this year
Most definitely.
because some of it was PG,
It's just too much improv,
Yeah.
and the people who were improv didn't filter anything. I feel like
Yeah, I was like, this is like PG pushing PG-13. Some of the stuff.
there's no language or anything, but
It's just suggestive material. That's what
very
it would
suggestive
say.
material.
Suggestive, crude humor.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I would say half of them were like that, and the other half were good.
Yeah. I think if I was sitting somewhere different, I might have enjoyed it. But we were sitting right beside, Mr. Pastor.
Yeah,
And I could tell he was not vibing with it.
he was uptight. I was uptight a
I
little.
was like,
Yeah,
but,
I didn't know how to feel. It was just, we'll clarify some rules next year.
yeah, for sure.
Because I will say that when I told them the rules, I said no longer than 5 minutes. I did mention that, I know.
I know.
And
yeah, I
they
heard that
definitely
too.
went past 5 minutes by a lot. And then I said, do not do anything that's going to get one of y'all hurt,
Yeah.
you know? I don't think I necessarily said don't do anything inappropriate, and I know I didn't say anything violent, but I didn't think about those because I thought that would go left. It should go.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have to be said, you know?
You talking about getting hurt? Did you know that those RKOs were real in the monkey skit? When like the guy is like, bam.
Well, I mean, I heard them.
Yeah, I was like, man, that looked good. And then like Bradley told me that like Hudson Wright was all like, oh my neck, and it was like, what? He's like, yeah, the kid actually RKO'd him.
Dude, next time
I
they're
was like,
definitely
dang.
not allowed to do that because
Yeah.
they hit it hard. And I'm like, dude, if they would have busted that floor, that would have been terrible because it's not really our facility, you know? So,
Also, that would have like probably broke Hudson's neck. He was paralyzed.
it's so terrible.
It's so bad, dude.
Would have been gone down in history as the worst camp.
Yeah.
But I think it actually was a great camp.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fellowship. Me and Steven really got to bond this week. I don't know. I didn't know Steven super well. You
Yeah,
know?
thank God we got put in the same cabin
Yeah.
out there in the woods in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's pretty intense out there, man. It's scary.
Mhm.
I had to
Like-
get up in the middle of the night to pee, and I get showered on by the rain. We're
To,
scared a bear was going to get me.
Before we move on from the skit thing, we have to shout out the Pistol Pete people because we took one of the lines from their skit and put it on our soundboard.
Yeah. Ready?
It says, "Heck nah." That's if you can't make it out. Heck
It's
nah.
kind of quiet, but it's
kind of
good.
quiet.
It,
In context, it was hilarious.
me and Jess have been quoting it all day. Not going to lie.
I've been quoting that skit a lot actually.
There's good.
How long it been?
Yeah, that's the one saying. Me
Oh,
and Jess
same
been quoting that. How long it been? I'm reckon about 15 years. 15 years and you're still ugly.
You still ugly. That or the curls, no fade with the curls on top. I like
You
that.
had what? Fade with a curl on top. So like twice.
It was
pretty good.
It was a good skit. I liked it. It
Yeah.
was the end of it should have been clarified more.
Yeah, that was a good skit. There's another good skit.
With the hillbillies.
Yeah, the hillbillies, and then this winning skit was just honestly, I would say out of all the years I've ever went to camp, it might have been the funniest skit
Yeah, I don't know if
I've
I was like
seen.
I was like almost downright crying.
Yeah,
Like, how funny it
I
was.
straight up where it was, dude. I was just like, I was almost rolling on the floor. Like I was like sliding in my seat, like getting up. Oh,
Yeah, this team they were their team was called Not Fast, Just Furious.
yeah,
Is that what it's called?
yeah.
So they had to like work something with the car into their skit, obviously.
Yeah.
And they had two out of country teammates on their team, one from Guatemala and one from Panama.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
He's from Panama, yeah.
So one's a missionary son from Panama, Josue
Uh-huh.
Ortiz.
Josue.
Shout out to him. He's about to leave, I think, like this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is Alejandro Rain Pancho, my cousin from Guatemala.
Yeah. And so they got to play mechanics that couldn't speak English while this church bus had broke down. And dude, oh man, Josue killed it. I mean, like Alejandro was there for like the like I don't know, what do you call it, the support, or the supporting, like almost leading up to the comedy, like when he was like the middleman in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
which
Because he
was
would
still
say
funny.
something in Spanish or whatever. Or he sneezed one time. He's like, achoo. And like, oh, a shoe?
Yeah. And but Josue, he was just like, he was getting it, man.
But he was
He was-
born for that, dude.
Yeah, he was.
Like, I mean, that's what he does in Panama. He does the skits and their VBS all the time. He loves dressing up. He's
Mhm.
great at it. I mean, that's his passion for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh man.
Yeah, he killed it. And I don't know if you caught it. I imagine you caught it. But, like, their van, like kick it into sixth gear and it's still like acting like it was going super fast, but just barely moving. And then like the grandma started passing it. It was pretty funny. It was
Not
clever.
fast.
It's just a very, very clever skit.
Yeah, that and to the underwear thing where he had just like a pair of boxers like right inside his pants, and they asked for something in Spanish. It sounded like underwear or something.
Yeah, I don't remember what they said.
And they're underwear, so he just yanks it out of his pants to make it look like he just ripped the underwear out from under his shorts. I'm like, dude, that's creative, and that was hilarious.
That was almost borderline bad.
That was part of the PG, but that was creative.
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's probably the end of the skits.
Yeah. Well, just to talk about, I guess what Brandon, his main thing when he preached was about distractions. And since we're on a podcast and we're actually supposed to have like conversations, I guess we'll talk about some distractions. I kind of told you on the way back.
Get that tea.
Yeah, get that tea in your system.
Yeah.
It's like I just enjoyed not having my phone, dude. Like, or not being on my phone. I had it for like pictures and stuff, but like social media and like all that, just like, dude.
No, yeah, I hate like phones, man.
Yeah, no, like even like on the way home, like I barely got on that thing. Like if so, I was listening to music. I was like, I don't even want to get back on Instagram yet. Yeah, man,
I have to have my phone.
Patch that out. Yeah, I'll hear you on your phone, yeah. But when I guess it was Saturday, when I finally decided, I'm like, I gotta catch back up on my YouTube channel. Listen, I love doing my YouTube, but it's just like, you're just gonna get back into like always having to post, always having to film, all this.
Yeah.
Like even tonight, like I gotta go back and watch that. I mean, I gotta make a Jurassic World review, and I watched that Saturday night. It's just always like, I'm just like.
You should invite Nick over.
Nick over?
Yeah.
For that?
For his opinion.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly is not a bad idea because you liked it a lot more than he did.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool having like two different opinions on it.
I should. It depends on what time.
I'm kind of like a middleman on that movie, so.
Well, I was too. I didn't like love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I also went without my phone for the most part. I mean, you were on your phone at night too, weren't you? A little bit watching movies or whatever. I scarcely got on my phone at night. Seldomly, yeah. I mean, I didn't really have anybody to text other than Jessie, but she was on the other side of the campus, and she was like in a metal building. So I couldn't even text her anyways. So there really wasn't much to do. So yeah, I really wasn't on it. I really, really wasn't on it on the bus ride. So,
especially the one back.
Yeah, that was actually a kind of fast bus ride because
Really?
I was like very asleep and very awake. I think just because I was so uncomfortable, I was awake, but my mind was like,
yeah.
But it was overall a great week.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because like I told Blaine yesterday in class, Brother Blaine in class. It was like I missed quite a bit of youth camp in my later teen years because of work. Why are you making that face?
Bro, is this your American Idol sub story?
Dang,
Daniel.
And then the 1 year I got to go back, which was 2 years ago, and you didn't get to go
because honeymoon.
Because you got married, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, and then it's like this year, like I had like you and Nick, and then I had my brothers, my mom there. I was like, bro, I had like both my best friends. I had my brothers, my mom. I was like, dude, it was a great time.
Pause. Nick, you hear that? Steven just said you're his best friend. One of his best.
Both my best friends.
Bro, I can't even believe I witnessed this. Nick doesn't even listen to our podcast, but I'm gonna like save this, and when it comes out, I'm gonna send just that 1 minute to him. I don't know.
I think he knows.
You're gonna have proof now forever. That's funny.
He's not gonna claim me though. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Make me embarrassed. Whoa, I'm one of your best friends. You're not even on my top 10, dude.
So what, Galyean? Nah, not Galyean. Still loud. We have actually gone a lot further in time than I thought we would on this. I feel like it's been interesting and entertaining.
Yeah. Didn't we say that like we were gonna try and like watch for people to do like weird things and give like special shout outs to them through youth camp? Or is that just an idea I had in my head?
I don't remember this at all. We had a whole cabin to ourselves. I don't remember you saying nothing like that, bruh.
I don't remember saying that on the podcast. Like, we're about to go youth camp, so like, do something special, and we might shout you out on the podcast.
No. Yeah. I think you actually might have said something like that. I have to say yes just in case. If I say no, then you're like, oh, hey, proof. But I really do think you did.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Did you see anything worth shouting out?
Well, how did it start so funny? I recorded. The day we left was Friday. It was raining, and what's it called? There was two boys. I think it was Sean. Could have been Michael. They're twins. I don't really know. And Jake Jennings. They're running to the chow hall, and they grabbed a trash bag because it's the only thing they could see, and just one held up the front of it and one held up the back of it, and just made a little umbrella for it.
Yeah, umbrella thing.
It was pretty funny.
That was funny. I mean, let me think. I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like, you didn't really see a whole lot of things. I don't know. I guess I don't really know what to be looking for, you know?
Yeah, I have another shout out for Daniel Davis because the first night, before he hurt his ankle, we were doing a King of the Hill basketball. Basically, you play offense or defense. If you lose the ball or miss, the next person comes in line.
I'm aware of the game.
I'm explaining for the other people.
Oh, okay.
Gosh dang.
Okay.
Do you know what basketball is, bro?
I do know what basketball is.
So I was playing, and I just had my slides out because it was like nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't play that well with slides. So I was like, shoot. So I ran my quarter mile all the way to the cabin, put on my tennis shoes, ran the quarter mile back. I was huffing and puffing. Got in line. The line was long, so it gave me time to catch my breath.
Yeah.
In my tennis shoes, I was ready. Let's go up, play defense. And I think it was first play that I went up there, and Daniel was going against me. Did a little move. I think it might have been some type of step back.
Oh.
He shot it. I was like, he gonna miss. Made it right on me. It was embarrassing. I had to put my tennis shoes on. Got schooled. But I went back, and the next time I could go around, and I scored on somebody. Then I missed the next one. But oh well.
This is not like funny or like interesting things. Just other people to shout out would be like the cooks. Shout out to all the cooks who cooked all the food.
Saucing it up.
Shout out to the worship team, you know, for bringing the music every night.
Worshipping it up.
And biggest shout out to Kevin and Callie Wright, man, for putting that thing together.
One thing is to get everything together. Plus, he's already was a principal, and she's a teacher and everything, and a bus driver he is, and so you don't have a lot of time to get this ready because now they did it a week earlier. It's just a lot going into it, and they want to incorporate all the helpers as well. And there's more helpers. They try to give us the stuff to do, so they didn't have as much. Even then, they did so much. And then what really like stuck out to me, because I would have said this in my testimony if I said a testimony last night, was Wednesday. They had this whole plan, and then it started raining, and then it seemed like it put a big damper on everything. And it took them like 30 minutes. It's like everybody's chilling in the tabernacle, just talking or whatever. And they like, I don't even know how you come up with a whole new plan for pretty much the rest of the camp in like 30 minutes, and somehow made it work and just fit it together. And
like you would just not even known. Like, if you didn't know, you wouldn't have known.
Yeah, it turned out great.
Yeah,
it really did. I think everybody enjoyed it. They put so much work into it, and sometimes it really goes unrecognized for all the detail that really goes into it.
That's for sure.
Plus, on top of that, you know, if you're putting all this stress on yourself, getting all this stuff, sometimes your heart can get out of place of it or whatever, but their heart was always in place. He'd go out and talk in front of the youth, and you can tell he's just preaching and giving all he has, and he just has such a love for all the youth.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Another shout out.
And Callie too.
Oh yeah, her too. Shout out. This is the only one I saw. I think there was another girl, but like Macy Fisher got that powder straight into the eyes when we were doing the color.
Macy?
Yeah, I think it was Macy Fisher.
No, it was Ava Nivison.
No, Macy got it too though, because Daniel was the one that threw it in her face. And I was by Daniel. So whoever Ava is, shout out to both of them.
No, for real. I'm gonna tell you this story. So, I guess Macy was in y'all's line over there. I was in a different line, and we had Caitlin Lyles and then Jay. Ava Nivison was running through it. She just did the little bat spin, running through the to the thing diagonally.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it called? She was running, and I think it was Jay.
Yeah.
He threw pink powder, and it hit right in her eye, like a perfect line. It was very rude, and I could see it in her. Like, she was pretty upset. I would be very upset, more than she was. But she was running, got in her eyes, and I saw her just stumbling, like boom, hit the floor,
Hit the flow.
hit the grass, right there on the floor.
I
She
have
got
some
back up,
experience with that.
kept going to,
I have some experience with having to hit the grass.
yeah, Matthew.
Man.
But she went to the next thing, found out her nose started bleeding because of it.
Mm.
So she like had to stop it. And she I don't know, she stopped the running nose, she put water in her face, got her eyes we can see, and still completed the obstacle with her team. So shout out, and not a shout out to Jay.
Mm.
Or Caitlin, but I think it was Jay. I knew it wasn't me because I was about to throw a big powder to her.
We're gonna blame Jay.
And I couldn't, yeah. I got low battery.
Oh no. We're gonna have to wrap it up.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to do your song.
All right. Oh, how low is it?
I mean, it's probably not that low.
All right. So this is the dealio, people.
10%.
We have the camp chance. We have like the last, what'd you say, 30 seconds of it?
38.
38. And apparently there's a rule you can only play 15 seconds. But since it's an instrumental, we're thinking maybe it's not. And we might just talk over it too.
We'll see. Plus, it's a parody.
It's like a parody. So like, AJR, just be nice to us, please.
Please.
But this is
It's for Christ.
This is how lit Thursday night got. Enjoy, everybody.
If you couldn't understand that, it just said, put your bug spray on, everybody. Put your arms around all your buddies and sway. Hey, hey, hey.
And live authentic faith.
And live authentic faith. Hey, hey, hey. Then it's, I'm way too tired but excited for the sermon. Going down to the altar to leave all my burdens and pray. And live authentic faith. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. Camp 2K22, let's grow. Yeah, it's a little muffled. One, it was audio from her phone, and then I put it onto the soundboard. I think that made it worse, but
oh well. Oh man, so
that was a much longer. That's like our second longest podcast, and we thought it was gonna be short.
Yeah, but I mean, it was the youth camp special.
Yeah,
so kind of out of our normal routine.
Yeah,
but I think people enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it was
except for like all of our listeners went to youth camp, and I know all this.
Yeah, like, I already heard all this story on the way home on the bus ride, like 5 different times. All right, well, I guess we'll just end it with that because I don't really have any takebacks or any reflect and deflects.
Any reflect and deflects?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't guess I do either because, I mean, is there something like from camp you did you want to deflect?
Bro, I'm holy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about.
No. I don't really know anything that I can really think of.
All right then.
Yeah. So, Gonzalez
Galyean
out.